Good afternoon, or good evening, I should say, everyone. Here with the Airfoil Labs Cessna 172SP. And take a little flight, kind of a rehash or reverse rehash of our flight this afternoon, if you were lucky enough to catch a piece of it that for some reason or other didn't quite save on YouTube. So we'll try this again in the reverse direction. So it's a beautiful day. Or the weather for this evening is beautiful here in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the plane ready to start. We've already got it on APU, or GPU I should say, to kind of get it going here. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the tie downs, the chocks, alright. Take a little look. And the pitot covers. Parking brakes are set, so that's good. Let's go ahead and remove the control locks. Alright, controls look to be free and clear.
The exterior manipulation mode is now active.
That's great. Let's go ahead and check the back of the plane. Looks like it's good. Elevator movement is free and clear. That's good. That's not what I wanted. Okay, everything is good. Just doing our walk around here. And no obstructions in the backup static port. Let's go ahead and shut the door. That's not the secondary, that's the primary. Good. No obstructions. Let's go ahead and give the wing a check here. Looks good to me. About the flaps. Flaps are good. Alright. We'll test the fuel. Even though we've already done this today, we'll do it again. Alright, so the fuel is tested. And the oleo strut looks good. Ran our handle on the edge of the propellers. Check for spinner for dents. There's nothing wrong with it. Air filter looks good. And alternator belts are good. Again, this plane is practically brand new. Good there. Alright. So I believe that will complete our walk around. Well, almost. Lights look good. What about the markers on the edge? Marker lenses look clear. The air vents are clear and unobstructed. Marker lights are in good shape. And these vents are clear and unobstructed. Do have one last light to check on the plane before we climb up and look at the fuel. Oh, is that the only Light we can check? Yeah, that's the only light we can check. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so everything is good. Let's go ahead and unplug the GPU, because we're going to be setting off after this. Stop it, explain. Thank you. Alright. That's a little warm. Go ahead and open these up. Alright. So, for the sake of seeing, we're going to get rid of that. And now, we're going to go ahead and engine masters on. Beacon on. And let's go ahead and give it some fuel shutoff on. Let's give it some fuel pump here.
The engine seems ideally primed.
Alright. Crack the throttle just a bit. Pull that back.
The engine needs a little more prime.
Yeah, thanks for that notice.
The engine needs a little more prime.
Duh.
The engine seems ideally primed.
Alright, let's just go to regular on the throttle here. Pull that back. Kind of get it settled here at 10,000 RPM. Master avionics on. Going to nav. Unit on. Radio's on. Squawking VFR and ADFR. We've already got our flight plan loaded, so we shouldn't have a problem there. Alright. Gonna let this baby idle and warm up. So I think we're ready to go. We'll hit our initial altitude of, kind of a pre-briefing here, we'll hit our initial altitude of 2,000 feet after takeoff, and from there we will adjust if necessary, which I think we will. So yeah, we'll go right out here. Yep. Go straight out to the ocean, where we will pick up the rest of the navigation from that point forward. Enunciators seem to be working. Alright, we're gonna do this one without ATC. I don't even want to mess with it. Alright, give me some taxi lights, some nav lights. P-dot heat. Still really not very warm. Oil temps aren't very warm. But that'll just have to do. We can bring back the... Well, you're not gonna like that. Parking brake released. Paying for use of the runway, we'll take the whole thing. Runway 09. And here's the hold short point, so we'll just go ahead and stop here. Parking brake is set.
The spark plugs may start fouling.
Yeah, I'm about to do that. So we're going to do a run-up procedure here. Alright. I think we're good. Alright, strobes on, landing lights on, taxi lights off, fuel pumps on. And just in case you were wondering, you do not usually use flaps on takeoff in a Cessna. Here we go. $60 knots, rotate. let's go to AP mode. Arm altitude. And up by 500 feet per minute. And good nav. Landing lights off. Fuel pumps off. I don't even think we need the pitot heat. We'll keep it anyway. What's going on, Avid? How's it going, man? What just happened here? Okay, we're reaching 2,000 feet. Oh, no, not even close. Climbing out of Fort Lauderdale. I think we could probably do better than this. That's pretty conservative. You know what, man? I can't wait to see what you come up with for tomorrow. What's the next leg? I do, and that's where I'm heading now. From Icarus Studios. It's pretty cool. It's only the island of Key West, though. We are going to have to halt here. Yeah, we're not going in the clouds. Let's just hold at 2,000. Why they make these things so complicated, I don't know. Oh wow. So I don't know any of the airports in Europe, to be quite honest. You weren't going to do a transcontinental flight to get over there? That's so true. It never works like it's supposed to. And what I'm doing now is I'm just trimming it back, just the throttle back, or the mixture back just a little bit, so we get that ever elusive balance between EGT and fuel usage. Why are you doing that? Ah, starts Friday, okay. You know, that's one thing I haven't figured out in X-Plane is how to do transcontinental routes. Okay, that looks good. We're going to stay below these clouds, though. As we are flying VFR. That's so cool. Although the trees on the beach, I'm not exactly sure that that's right, but you know, we'll go along with it. I do believe we get enough fuel. Taking us offshore here. Cabin air pull. You know what? If you can get over any, if you can get over not liking X Aviation, that scenery, that Key West scenery, is worth $20, quite frankly. If you fly down here a lot, if you use it, if you're going to use it, pay for it. It's worth it. So, Abba, do you fly the? Have you flown the Airfoil Labs 172? Yeah, same here. You kind of had to overcome that fear, but they seem to be getting better about their customer service. Just like the sceneries, to throw in your arsenal if you want to do some GA flying. I highly, highly, highly recommend this plane. This is an awesome plane. Gotcha. Yeah. Not enough time to fly them all, right? Only so many hours in a day, man. Alright, just to kind of going around the tip down here. We'll be in the Keys before you know it. Need to back off on the mixture control a little bit. Get a little warm. There we go. 1900D, I'm not familiar. We're just going to deal with these clouds. This isn't bad. I don't think this is going to break our VFR. Nah, we'll be fine. You know, I need to look at some aircraft from those guys. I've heard all kinds of good things for their GA aircraft. You know, man, that's something I don't know how to fly. That little blue knob on the for propeller pitch, I think. I have no idea what it does. I know it's a turboprop type thing, but I was kind of looking at that. Oh, what's the one? You can also treat it out for a flying boat. It's not the Beaver. It's the other one that just came out. Well, here I'm on autopilot. I might as well just look. The Kodiak Quest. Seeing a lot of people posting about that plane. Kind of makes you appreciate the companies that are a little more picky, like the IXEGs, right? You'll have to let me know how the Kodiak is, man. I was actually looking at that. That'd be my first turboprop. I'll have to jump into the books and read all about it and figure it out. Although I had to figure this out too because I've never flown a Cessna in real life. But I'll be ready to. Come on, clouds. How does that keep happening? Alright. I really don't want to have to go down, but I guess we're going to have to. I can't see how far these clouds extend. Let's go ahead and drop down. Let's try 1,800 feet. You know what? This is good. This is good right here. Alright. Just have it hold this. You know, that seems like what the plane would be really good for, is those Caribbean islands. I think if I learn to fly that bad boy, I think I'll do it. This thing's just too slow. I mean, you could do island hopping, it just they'd be longer flights. I mean, here to Nassau and whatever right over there is no problem, but it would take forever to actually get deep into the Caribbean in this thing. I mean, we could always fly to Cuba and pick up some contraband, right? Yeah, but if you've got good scene, like this is just ortho, and there's no extra scenery here. We got stuff like this that makes flying low and slow nice. Yeah, but this particular plane is it's a pleasure to fly. I just wouldn't want to go on any long trips. You know, city hopping. You know, one thing you can do is you can learn what your local airports are, the ones you didn't even know existed. Yeah, I heard you said you were doing that last night. How did your Europe come out? And I'm gonna back off on you. Set course to 201 inside airspace. Yeah, I know. Well, it took it, so I'll just leave it. Yeah, I know. We are officially in the Keys. Oh, don't feel bad about that at all. I only do zoom level 16. This is all 16. Looks fine. No complaints. I think 16 is a good trade-off between being able to fly some GA aircraft around at low altitudes and then being able to do some high flyers and still have it look good. Right down the Keys. So did you get all of your Europe done, or you still have stuff to do? Cruising at about 110 knots, not bad. Gotcha. Yeah, it takes a lot of space, man, to do all the tiles in between. Must have a nice tailwind. As a matter of fact, I think we do. Because I'm getting a lot of speed for not a lot of throttle. I'll take it. Wait for it. Now, Evan, you know that you can set that thing up on a batch job, right? And kind of let it sit overnight. How does this compare to the? Oh, it's funny you should ask. So flying the default 172 is like flying a kite compared to this. This is much more complex. When you get a chance to go back and look at the video on startup and all that, this is a much more complex plane as far as instrumentation and procedures go. Like the 172, you can almost just hop in it, flip some switches, start it up, and you know you can be flying loop-de-loops around Las Vegas before you know it. I mean, it works for if you just got home from work and you just want to jump in a plane and you don't want to do any pre-flight. But if you're going for realism, this thing's pretty awesome. I'm not a huge GA flyer, but this thing works pretty well. Alright, let's go up to 2,500. I think we can pull that up. Maybe. We'll see how high that cloud deck is. Give it a little more throttle as we're climbing. You know, also, honestly, then that one feels almost, the default feels like a speed plane compared to this, the way it maneuvers. I mean, you could fly loop-de-loops through the St. Louis Arch if you wanted to. This thing is way touchy, and it's what I imagine it would feel like in real life. Thank you, Jeeves. Actually, we're going to pull this back to 2,000 and just be happy with it there. We're getting real close to that cloud deck. Yeah, that'll be fine. Put us right on the underside of that deck. That's where I want to be. This dynamic feeling fluffy cloud is what I miss from X-Enviro sometimes. I don't get this in X-Enviro. Not the same feeling. Harry, how's it going, man? Brother Harry, is that what I think it is on your profile pic, brother? Oh, really? But see, I don't have 4K. I don't have a 4K display, so... Harry... Oh, okay. Alright. If you're cool with Avid, you're cool with me, Harry. I'll just imagine that that's a different kind of edifice than is being depicted on your profile pic. Oh, okay. And we are overspeeding the engine slightly, or almost. And need to pull back on the mixture just a little bit since we are at a little higher. Why do you fall off that way? Why do you fall off? There's just no happy medium with you. Have we found equilibrium? I think we have. Alright. Still holding 210 or 110. And I think here's where we pick up the keys for the most part. Now when we get down here, we're going to have to divert around the naval base. I don't think we're allowed to fly across that. Probably divert to the north. Stay on the inside of the intercoastal. It's so freaking cool. Where is the road? I guess we must be on the way on the outside, where it doesn't join up until up here. For a second there, I thought that boat was actually moving. Yep, it is. And it is a cool plane. I do enjoy it thoroughly. You know, it's funny you were saying, that because I was talking to Avid, and I have no experience with variable pitch props. Little blue handle, I'm guessing. I have no experience messing around with those. I'll have to learn. Join the modern world, right? Let's give it some. Let that stabilize. Mixture. Come on down. Prop controls RPM. Huh. Adjust power using manifold pressure. Way above my head, man. Right now. I'd have to learn what the relationship is. This I get, this I understand. The, and we need more of that. We're still pretty low. Gotta constantly watch after this engine though. Yeah, it's just terminology I've never used, so I'm kind of, I'm still learning, I guess, like everybody here. We're all still learning. I mean, the day you stop is the day it's time just to kick the dirt in on you. RPM controls, or pitch controls RPM. So I'm guessing the motor tries to maintain a particular RPM for a power setting, and then it will adjust itself based on demanded prop pitch. Because I know that's how the turboprops work, right? They try to maintain the same engine RPM, keep the engine at the optimal curve for efficiency and torque, and then adjust the prop as necessary. And the computer will maintain engine speed and keep it in that ideal curve. This thing requires constant attention. Gotcha. Well, more like a CVT, right? Because you're variably able to adjust the prop for what power settings you require, as opposed to big bumps in power. I think I'm going to have to do that, especially if I'm going to learn how to fly a turboprop. See, this is zoom level 16, and it's not bad. I mean, we're at 2,000 feet, and it's not bad at all. I mean, your mileage may vary. When I start throwing more zoom level at this, not only does it create more space, it looks nice, but I get way much more jerkiness, lose so much lose too many frames doing that. Either one of you guys tried reshade at all? Well, I got it to work, but it drugged my frames down so far. I was playing with it yesterday, It drug my frames down so far that it was almost, if you'd make a quick movement like this, it would literally, or if you'd be outside, if you had one of the filters on for nighttime, looked great as long as you're looking one direction. The minute you do something like this, it just, your frames go down to like 5. It is really confusing. It's kind of like World Traffic 1 and 2. Awesome concept. I think he just needs to refine it a little more and make it a little more, you know, push button friendly, as in I get in plane, I turn on plug-in, I fly, and there are other planes. That's all you really care about, right? Speaking of that, is anybody excited for that? World Traffic 3? It's supposed to be the answer, hopefully, to our traffic nightmares. Yeah, that's right, you are a VATSIM guy. World Traffic 3 is supposed to... Hey, we got some scenery coming up. World Traffic 3 is supposed to be coming out, I would say, probably in the next 3 to 6 months. The developer released a video here shortly, or here earlier this week. You couldn't hear anything he said, but from what he was doing and how he was setting it up, it looked like it was much easier to operate and actually to use. You know, Harry, I've tried the Zybo mod, and I liked it, and I'm an IXEG guy. I need to actually do a longer flight with it, though. Yeah, you're not going to hear any of the guys say anything, but it's cool. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. You ever had the problem where the planes are above ground level or below ground level? I downloaded that too, Harry, and it sounds good. It worked well. I did a quick flight just to up around my my home airport. Harry, how's the VNav working on that plane, by chance? You like to have a house right down there with water access. Gotcha. I would typically like to be able to put the plane into, I mean, I typically like VNav, obviously, to climb out. Yeah, you can do without it on descent. Oh, does it? Yeah. Hard to find a plane that you know, actually models VNav well. Any plane. I mean, even the IXEG, it's real buggy. Look at these islands. That is so freaking cool. maybe moving at a snail's pace. But that's okay by me. Ghost plane. Yeah, this is the new Google reconnaissance, aerial reconnaissance drone. It's for taking aerial photographs. It has no pilot, but don't worry. You know, Avid, everybody's saying that, but I have to wonder if it... I really want them to. I know they put out the DC-6. Way more complicated than I want to deal with in a plane, but well, they've already got a plane out for X-Plane, Harry. Really more of a GA flyer than it is an airliner, but you know, for today's standards. Still good. Not gonna mess with it. Don't mess with a good thing. I wonder what they're having problems with as far as getting the 737 working. Well, this is the only simulator I've ever seriously flown. Well, when I was in high school, I had a copy of Flight Sim 2004, but that doesn't really count. Probably not, because the actual airfoil has to be modeled correctly. We are getting active sky for X-Plane. Yep. Yeah, don't be so sure, man. A lot of people still have a lot of money invested in particular simulators. I mean, I don't even think that FSX is done yet. I mean, some of the stuff they've got on that thing is absolutely amazing, but they can make it look great, but it's not real stable that way, though, from what I understand. There you go. Almost there, boys. Go out and have planes like this and say, okay, for $15 you can have an all-glass cockpit and we'll upgrade our plane that you already own. Sounds like a good deal to me. For streaming? Oh, I do too. But I think there's a place for using glass cockpits. I mean, that is the way of the future. Train on steam gauges and graduate to glass. Well, at least it restarted. Oh, does it? It's better than an NVIDIA experience. I can't even get that to stay stable at all during a stream. I tried it earlier today and it would not stay stable enough to complete a flight. Is that what it's called? The NVIDIA solution that's bundled into the drivers or the driver software? You know what, man? I know that us new kids don't have any stick and rudder skills, but not having a GPS would scare me. Now that's to say you would also have every frequency for every VOR you would expect to have on the route, but I'll fly the plane. That's I don't want to do that. I want to look at scenery. That's half the reason I fly. That's not... Look at the ocean. Oh, right. Hey man, I still feel young. I may not be super young, but I still feel young. When these guys are talking about no stick and rudder skills, these kids today, I feel like they're pointing directly at me. It's like I could hand fly the plane, or I could stick it in the computer and let it do that, and then I can, you know, watch out the window. Although they did have a kind of a system back in the day, the CEVA system, right? You could manually plug in your coordinates and have it go point to point. You get what, six coordinates on a flight, something like that. Better make them count. I do. And I have to make a confession about that plane. I have never successfully landed that plane. 9 coordinates, right. I knew it was something. It was some constraint. Better make your 9 coordinates count. Doesn't really leave a lot of room for any complex approaches, does it? But no, the MD-80, I've got the plane. I know how to start it up. I know how to use it. I've become very discouraged in landing it. Very discouraged. Well, any tips for me on that one? All would be welcome at this point. So you're telling me an ILS is a must? Don't go slow. Oh, okay, because as soon as you come off the throttles, it's going to sink too fast. Good to know. Maybe that is my problem. Maybe I'm not flying fast enough. That's a cool little set of houses right there. Let's just build it into the shape of a triangle. Well, that's probably all the land they could really build on. Everything else is marshy. That's so freaking cool. Any approach, your landing speed in the FMC at 10 knots. You do that with all the planes you fly, Harry? Or just the MD-80? Really? You're kind of making me want to jump back into it. I mean, it's kind of like jumping into a spaceship with as many levers and dials and everything it's got going on. I'm actually, I live in St. Louis, and they used to have, McDonnell Douglas had was acquired by Boeing, but they had their big plants here. A lot of people I know work there, but I always tell them that the MD-80, and it just feels like it was way over-engineered. Yeah, but you have to know the airplane to be ahead of it. Kind of have to know what it's going to do and what to expect. That's why I don't fly a lot of Airbus aircraft, because I don't know them. Not yet, anyway. Hopefully that'll change with the flight factor. A320. Harry, you make me want to jump back in and do a live stream of me crashing it on landing. Same here, but it's kind of, I feel like Boeing had the philosophy right. And we got a little ways to go. Not too much farther now. You know, from everything I understand about the JAR, I think JAR Designs tries very, very hard And they make some good plugins and some good things. I mean, X-Life is decent. Their pushback truck's decent. Their ground service is decent. But their airplane, I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid to learn that A320 because I'm afraid that if I learn that airplane, when something more systems-oriented comes out, like, you know, the Flight Factor A320, I'm going to be thrown all off base because everything I'm going to learn is going to be wrong. True. And that's why we need this. That's why I think Flight Factor is filling a niche that they see that in the market. I mean, I'd buy it. Yeah, it's not our airport, boys. That's not Key West. You know, I kind of feel like you're onto something with that, Harry. I think that if you can fly and land, I'm gonna amend that. Fly and land the MD-80. I think everything else is child's play, because that is most definitely the most complicated aircraft I think I've ever flown. But I don't have as much of a problem with that because of the descent and because of the design philosophy is more like Boeing's than, you know, the A320. That thing, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't work intuitively. It doesn't work like how I would expect it to work. It's not an iPhone of planes. Should have done a touch and go there just for giggles. We are overflying the airport. What airport is that? KMTH. Well, I'll tell you what, Harry, I tend to fly at night anyway, so probably one day this week, not the 4th, but one day this week I think I'll take your suggestion and maybe make a quick hop, maybe to O'Hare from St. Louis in the old MD-80. Try that out. Yeah, I should, but if I do that, I'm going to burn some more time, and I got to get to bed here pretty soon. It's 11:47 where I'm at. As much as I love flying, still got to get up and go to work in the morning. What do we have going on over here? Oh, it's just a little... yacht, or who knows. How are we doing on fuel? Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. I think we can afford some more RPM. There we go. Avid, you are not joking about the Allegiant thing. Oh man. We flew out last year on an Allegiant flight. We went to Tampa, and on the way back, our flight was canceled. Mind you, it was the same MD-80 that we flew down on. I think it was the same aircraft. We were canceled coming back, but on the way down there, it smelled like jet fuel inside the cabin. And I thought that was really weird. But we got there okay, and then they just canceled on us Saturday morning coming back. So we did the next best thing. We rented a car, and we drove from Tampa to St. Louis in about 14 hours. And I will never, ever, 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 ever get on an Allegiant flight ever again. Where do you typically fly into and out of? Oh, your flights. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, that's because the planes they're flying are older than dirt, and they don't maintain them because they're a budget airline. I mean, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I mean, all you need is a jack screw to fail in the tail assembly, and the next thing you know, you're goners. We're trying to fly upside down like on Denzel Washington. Gotcha. Oh, do advise. What's the inside scoop there? You know, Avid, you know that's pretty bad when they say, look, I'm just going to give you a friendly piece of advice. Don't fly my airline. And I can't tell you why. Well, those MD-80s are... I mean, those things have been used and abused, and I know they were using those as the backbone of their fleet for a while because they bought them for real cheap, and... Well, I'm glad they didn't dissolve. after their little spat with the FAA. I'm glad they're able to come up with the funds and fix their planes or upgrade. Man, this is a long flight. This is way longer than I thought it was going to be. No, you can't beat 150 bucks, but is it really worth your life or a chance on your life? I mean, I'm not an expert or anything, but pretty sure you're not supposed to smell kerosene inside the cabin. Just saying. But with all the negativity, I will say one thing. They did refund the flight with no questions asked, and we didn't have to fight for the refund, so I'm always grateful for that. Alright, we're on the last leg of this bad boy. I do not want to overfly the naval base. .250. The burning wire smell. Yeah, I think I'd have been out of the airplane at that point. Can't you please open the cabin doors? I'd like to get off now. I guess I never realized how much fuel that these Cessnas can actually carry. It's kind of impressive, actually. The range you get on these bad boys. Like 650 miles or something like that, right? We're cruising 120. Gotta get a little faster. Gotta get there a little faster. One thing I do like about this plane is it keeps track of your hours and everything, so I've only got 13.7 hours on the airframe. Yeah, get ready for a bumpy landing. Of all the aircraft I have, this is probably one of the harder ones to land, if, you know, actually land without destroying it. So don't expect a correct pattern entry, or actually I think it's going to be right pattern, because we're going to land on the far side. I'm going to go around. But this thing I landed a little bumpy. My landings aren't the best. I'm still working on them. generally. Alright, there's the naval base. We are heading to Key West, my friend. Kilo Echo Yankee Whiskey. Well, we'll try that. That's always easier said than done. Oh, I won't crash it. It'll just be a little hard. And we're going to go ahead and start bringing her down. Getting a little bit of cloud cover. And we are not going to overfly the naval base. I do hate to disappoint everyone here. Thank you. Sorry, autopilot, I'd interrupt you there. Yeah, I know the airspace is near and ahead. We're not going down there. How are we sinking like that? Ooh. Sorry, baby. Not as smooth as I'd like you to be, but that's okay. Well, we're not landing yet. But you're right, we should, you're absolutely right. I just want to clear the naval base. There's a naval base between us and Key West. And we'll clear the naval base first. I don't believe I have cowl flaps in this plane, Harry. And I don't think I have carb heat either. Either this is automatic or it's just not a feature of this plane. Oh, you guys do like the airfoil labs? I mean, I love this plane. It's a lot of fun. Is the SP fuel injected? I'm guessing it is because you don't have to deal with as much, right? Alright, we're clearing the naval base now. That's what we wanted to avoid. I mean, I'd even like to fly a 182, which is the turbo Cessna single engine, right? Yeah, because this does not have carb heat, so I guess that would be correct. No worry about ice buildup, right? Alright, airport is on the far side over here. So we'll go ahead and make our way around the backside. Come in downwind. Since we've had that tailwind, I know that from coming back up earlier, coming back towards Miami earlier today, we had the headwind and now we had a tailwind coming down. So we're going to take, I believe it's runway 9. No, I don't know if it's runway 9 or not. Whatever the runway is on the far side here. Alright. Let's start losing some altitude here. Probably way too far out for that yet. This baby is touchy, touchy, touchy. Hey, you're right about that. Which we are a beam probably coming up. We're still too we're too fast for flaps right now. Right? Alright. Let's go ahead and hit the fuel pumps on. Landing lights on. Whoa. How did you guys learn this stuff? You guys are, like, I know the basics, mechanics of things. You guys... Alright, let's... Oh, well that explains it, doesn't it? You mean the app flight school, or do you mean the actual flight school? Oh. Alright, well then I damn sure look like a novice then. 500 hours in a 172, man, that's impressive. And it sounds expensive. Well, I'm going to hit flaps because it's when I feel good. And we're going to watch that airspeed. Okay, now I know where we're at, because there's the cruise ship. There's the docking berths. Airport's right over here. "70 knots, that seems kind of slow. Yes, sir, Captain, sir. I don't know if I can see the airfield. There it is. I usually fly airliners, boys. Wait a second. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's not what I meant at all. We're losing airspeed. Too fast. I thought VREF in this thing was about... Oh, don't sink like that again. You can always try to land it on a taxiway like Harrison Ford. This is a cool scenery, isn't it? Yep, runway 9. That's what I thought. Oh, don't bounce on me again. And don't do that. Why are you doing that? Just float her down. No reason to be a rush. Oh. Yep. Told you. That was rough. What, a flight school? Alright, we're gonna stop right here in the middle of the... Oh, don't do that. There we go. Alright, so... Landing lights off. Fuel pump off. Taxi lights on. Strobe off. Pitot heat off. And let's go ahead and put the flaps up. Alright. I see a bunch of Cessnas over there. That's probably where we need to go. go park with the corporate jets. I don't think that's where we're going. Yeah, well. Well, you just pick up speed real quick, don't you, plane? And I think we're gonna pull in next to these big guys, just because we can. A little hard braking action there for you. Alright. There we go. So, let's go ahead and nav off, taxi lights off, and I'll shut down our avionics. Everything turned off. Alright. Throttle back, and mixture off.
The engine seems ideally primed.
Master avionics off. Alright. We're shut down. So we'll go ahead and push in and put the lock in. Control locks are good. Let's get out of the plane here.
The exterior manipulation mode is now active.
I enjoyed it. I was trying to... It's kind of a remake of the one I tried earlier today. Oh man, you didn't bother me at all. I'm glad you didn't though. I'm still very much a newbie pilot. Okay, let's go ahead and throw some chocks down. I guess we don't really need to because we get the brakes on, but you know, it's all good, right? It's tied down to nothing here. Oh, I need to close that. Pitot cover on. I do not. I mean, I registered for an account a while ago, but I haven't actually set it up or anything like that. I actually haven't used VATSUM. Where's that thing at? It's under here somewhere. Where's the eye hook? There it is. Alright, so it's tied off. Don't get in the plane. Alright. Shut off the fuel. I believe you're supposed to put it all the way to the right, right? Right or left on the fuel control valve? Oh, okay. I know you're supposed to do one way or the other on the selector. It'll just leave it alone. It's fine. Cabin air selector. To close. Locked. We're just going to leave the keys in it because, you know, we're in Key West and we trust everybody, right?
Exterior manipulation mode is now active.
Shut the door. I don't think there's anything else I'm forgetting before I go into the FBO over here. No, I think we're good. Alright. Well, guys, thank you both for joining. And I appreciate you guys coming out and watching this flight and taking part. And Avid, I hope you have a great time planning for this next leg of your series that you're doing. It is kind of weird, isn't it? Especially when you look up and you don't see yourself like down here. But I think I will, man. I think tomorrow I may try to give the MD another shot tomorrow evening. And so tune in for that one and and see me mess that up. All right, guys. You guys have a great night.